Welcome to another crypto market update with Glenny Doge. Now, I wanted to go over TradingView. So, if you're into crypto or if you're new to crypto, and doesn't matter if you're into it big or small, $5, $500, $5 million, go ahead and go to the App Store, whichever App Store you use, download the app called TradingView. That way you can actually do your homework. The charts that they give you on exchanges, which I used to use, when I first got into it, I just used the chart on the exchange, and it's only going to show you so much. For one, it's a line graph, so you need to learn to read candlestick charts. Somebody told me that a long time ago, and I kind of blew it off and didn't think it was necessary. And now I realize how necessary it really was. If you're not looking at candlestick chart, you're only seeing about 20% of the picture. So go ahead, download that app, and when you get into it, it's a free app, by the way. It's free. They have a membership that you can sign up for once you get it. I just use the free version. It's all about, you can have like a ton of indicators if you get the membership and whatnot. Not really worth it for me to do. It might be a different situation for you. But anyways, you get into the app, right? And then to get started, your list will be, blank, or look something like this. I think they give you sort of a standardized list. So say you want to look up XRP. Type in XRP on the search bar, and it'll bring up all of these different options for you to choose from. It can get a little bit confusing. So just to sum it up for you, you want spot crypto. You'll see index crypto, swap crypto. You want spot crypto. So they have Binance or Coinbase or the TradingView ones that you can pick. Kraken, whichever one. I guess if you're planning to trade on an exchange, it's going to be best to line up your chart with that exact exchange. So if you use Kraken, then you should pick the Kraken chart. If you use Binance, you pick the Binance chart. If your exchange of choice is not on here, just click the TradingView spot crypto like I do right here, and that'll bring you into this. This is your coin overview. All of your news and stuff is going to be right here, this little purple window. You can click that and get all of your articles to read up on what's going on, the most current news. I do definitely recommend being picky about where you get your news from, especially in crypto, because there's a lot of misinformation. So like I used CoinMarketCap for news quite a bit for articles, and I had to stop because I realized they're publishing articles that I don't even need to be seeing, because they can persuade you in one way or another that less factual, which you don't want. You want non-biased facts. So here's our articles, and here's your overview. So your overview will show you your market cap, all-time high, total supply of coin, whatever. Also, there's technical. If you want to scroll through it, it will help to give you an idea of what's going on. Your moving averages, oscillator, and your summary. You definitely don't want to base your sole decision off of any of these technicals. Never once have I gone in here and looked at this and said, okay, here's what I need to do, just based solely on this. And that's crypto altogether. Well, stock market, financial stuff altogether. You want to take all of the information, all of the different indicators, all of the different stuff, and put it all together, and that's how you make your decisions to make a move. So this will help to give you sort of an idea of what's going on now. So it just goes to show that XRP is showing a strong buy on the weekly. So that's your long-term chart. So that means this is basically telling you that it's projected to go up in the long term. If you get down to the really short-term one, wow, it's bullish really short term too. Sometimes that can change though. I don't have an example obviously to show you here right now. Sometimes it can change when you go to the short term. It can be all the way on the other side of the spectrum. So it can be a little bit misleading, very confusing, but just thought I would go over the technicals with you. But you click this little square, that'll bring up your full screen. So that's step one. It can be really confusing trying to use this app. It took me probably 3 months before I could even navigate it, but I made it way more complicated than it needed to be. So let me sum it up and make it simple for you. This on the right side is your price scale. And all you need to do if you want to adjust this is drag it up and down. This will make it smaller, this will make it bigger. So if you want to really zoom in on something and try to find an exact price or whatever, then you can scroll that up or you can scroll it down. Your time, your date, I don't know what I should call this, but down here on the bottom, you have this little bar and you can scroll this left or right to change that. So if I want to see more data, then I make it bigger. You know, I want to see into October. So let me do that. But if you want to zoom way in on it, then you just keep scrolling and scrolling this way, and that'll bring you up to here. Now, okay, so another thing, right next to the ticker right here, you see that 4 hour, that's your interval. And what that means is each of these candles is 4 hours. That doesn't mean it's showing you 4 hours worth of data in the whole window. Each of these candles is 4 hours. So now if you want to change that, an easy way, if you're scaling all this and it gets way out of whack and you're like, oh, how do I fix that? I can't even read this. Click this little, whatever that shape is right there, and just hit auto fits data to screen. And it'll fix all of that for you. So what that does is it'll make it to where it adjusts that scale for you as you adjust your time scale, and it'll make it all a little bit easier. So you can just scroll through instead of having to mess with it and actually move it around. But if you want to get out of that now, because it'll leave you stuck in it and you won't be able to drag the screen up here, just go back to your scale and rescale, and it'll get you out of that. And now you can go through and you can manually do whatever you need to do. All right, so these are your 4 hour candles. If you click this, you have a ton of options to choose from, and you can kind of decide which one is your favorite. I really like the 4 hour time frame for getting a good, I would say, like medium term idea of what's going on. It's not necessarily like extremely long term, but it's not short term. So it's about a midterm. I like the 4 hour, one of my favorites for sure, especially when things are as volatile as they have been and as choppy as they have been. It's hard to get an idea on a shorter time frame. So when in doubt, zoom out, you go to the 4 hour and you see that everything is okay. So you can go to your daily. This is your longer time frame, and you can see each of these candles is a daily candle. So you had a red day, a red day, a red day, green day. Okay? That band is legendary. You can go weekly. That's a really long-term way to look at it. But I would say, so the ones that I use the most are going to be the 15-minute, I use the 15-minute chart. I use the 30-minute chart, the hourly chart, the 4 hour chart, the daily, and the weekly. That's about all I look at. All right, next, I want to actually go over how to read a candlestick chart. It's very simple, and it just takes some getting used to it. So if you start looking at this stuff every day, it'll get a lot easier. So how this works is, this timer here is showing you the countdown to close on the hourly candle. So you got 48 minutes left on this current candle. So you have your base of your candle, and on a green candle, you look at the previous one, this next one starts right where the previous one left off on its close. So it starts there, and it went up. It went up all the way to here before the candle closed. That's what these wicks mean. These little skinny lines are called wicks. And the price went all the way up here, and then it fell all the way back down here, and it closed right there. That is how that works. And the reason this candle is red, because it closed under the previous. So it's actually started right here when it opened, dropped all the way down to here, created that wick, went up to here, and closed. So when you have a green candle, the close is at the top of it. When you have a red candle, the close is at the bottom of it. So now when you're going from red to green, this candle starts right here. This green candle starts at this level where the red candle left off at. It moved all the way up to here throughout the time that it was open, fell down to here, and closed. That is how that works, and that's why every time you go to a different time frame, it looks very different, because the wicks are different. It all depends on how long that candle was open. Now, there's all different kinds of indicators to choose from. I only use a few. This one on the bottom here is called the stock RSI, and it basically sums up what the relative strength index is showing you and puts it together a little bit differently to help you read it more aggressively, I would say. And it goes up and down in its range. So the way RSI works, relative strength index, stock RSI, it's just a different type of relative strength index, but they both work similarly in the way that there's a range right here where it's blue. That's your neutral range. Anything beyond 80 here would be considered overbought. Now, when you get into overbought territory, you can expect, not always, but a reversal back down into at least the neutral zone. When you're in an extremely bullish market, things can stay overbought for a very long time, but the time frames will change all of this. So on the weekly, you can stay overbought for a long time. On the hourly, you're gonna fluctuate a lot. Now, on the other end of it, when you drop down in this range, under 20 is considered oversold. So that is oversold territory, and that means you should see a bounce back up. And you can see how this stock RSI moves up and down in its range. All right. To add these indicators, you go to this little analysis hub button, go to indicators. You can go to technicals and scroll through here. You can also type into the search bar up there. Here you can find a relative strength index. So that's how you do that. If you don't have the paid membership, it'll only allow you to have one of these up at a time. It'll put it in this little window for you. If you want to adjust the little window, click this line, this little blue line, and you can drag it up and down to make it bigger or smaller. Also, if you want to just full screen it, double tap inside the window, it brings it up for you. Same if you want to get rid of it and full screen your actual chart, double tap it. Now what I have here is the traditional RSI. Reads a little bit different than the stock RSI. Same idea. The numbers are different. So the stock RSI is 80-20, and the traditional RSI is 70-30 as far as where the zone ends. So same thing though. Anything above this purple range is your neutral range. Anything above, overbought. Anything below is oversold. And it'll light up red when it gets into oversold, and it'll light up green when it gets into overbought. As you can see, when it dips down into this oversold territory, it bounces off of it and comes back up in the neutral range. Really helps you to get an idea of the, well, relative strength in the market. This one here is the moving average convergence divergence. In short, the MACD. Very, very useful indicator. Probably my favorite. And the way it works is you have the blue MACD line. Then you have the orange signal line. And the orange signal line acts as a moving average. I think it might be technically a moving average. Sorry, I'm no expert, so be easy on me. Okay, so The way this works is there's a zero line right in the middle. This little dotted line that the momentum comes off of, this is a zero line, which acts as a zero line. These green bars and these red bars, these are your momentum. When momentum is starting to slow, the green turns to a light colored green. When the momentum is heavy, it is a dark colored green. Same for the downward momentum. Now, what you can look for, and I forgot to go over this on the RSI, the stock RSI, it's the same general idea for trading. When to enter and exit a position. What I will try and look for is confirmation, which means this line, this blue line, when it crosses above the orange, that is a bullish cross. That means momentum is swinging up and it is going to break out. And you can see that's exactly what happened here. When the blue line crosses below the orange line, you have a breakdown. And that is usually, and you can see how sporadic it's been, in extremely volatile markets, the MACD can give, all of these indicators can give false signals. So that's why it's important to put them all together, because you can look at one thing and it can be wrong. So when it crosses below the orange line, you have a breakdown, and that's exactly what happened here. And it gets sent down. All this red in your momentum can show you how far you can expect to go down. And when it starts to turn light, that means things are starting to get better. Now, the zero line is, I would say, like a broader, more long-term, like bigger picture of the momentum. So when you get above the zero line, you're gaining steam. You're gaining a lot of steam. And you can move up being way down here. We've been way down here for a while on a lot of these coins below the zero line. The zero line will act as a magnet. Whenever you are below or way below it or way above it, it's going to want to drag you back towards that zero line. So it kind of keeps everything centered and gives you an idea of how overheated or underheated the market is. And when you cross above that zero line, you can expect good things to happen. And that's exactly what we've been seeing this morning for XRP. Now, if you want to get rid of this indicator down here, you just hit the MACD there. It'll pull up the little trash symbol, hit delete. And then you can go through and add whatever other indicator you would like to add. All right, let's get into some analysis on what's currently going on. It's looking good. I'm very excited that we actually have some green on the charts here. Bitcoin up to 95,000. On the hourly chart, it looks good. You can see the momentum started swinging up this morning at 1 or 2 a.m. And you'll see that sometimes because crypto never closes. It is open 24 hours, always. You can make a trade at any point in time. When it's executed, can take a minute. Depends if there's buyers, depends if there's sellers. But the market is always open. It's not like the stock market where you have where it opens and closes. It's off on holidays. You know, crypto is always open. So you can see a lot of these. Around the election, we saw this a ton. It was driving me crazy because I would go to sleep and all this stuff would happen. So I started setting alarms to wake up at 3 a.m. Now that has changed since. We haven't seen a whole lot of it. This morning, that's exactly what we saw. Is around 2 a.m. things started to change here. And you'll have that because on other sides of the world, that's the middle of the day for them. And they are also trading crypto. Anyways, things looking very good for Bitcoin. That can change. I would expect this extreme volatility to keep up. But like I've been saying, all we need Bitcoin to do is remain strong and hold its ground. It doesn't need to go on and set a new all-time high. It just needs to hold on and not lose much ground for altcoins to really take off. Now you'll hear me talk a lot about the Bitcoin dominance, and the way that works is when how do I explain this? So it's like it sounds. When Bitcoin dominance is way up, that means the total liquidity of the whole crypto market is the majority of it is in Bitcoin and not altcoins. So the way the Bitcoin dominance works is it's just Bitcoin, and the rest of the other altcoins, they don't have like a dominance chart. It's just either alt season or Bitcoin season. And when you go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, you can see this percentage. It's a very helpful chart that you can find. Just look up this ticker right here, BTCD, Bitcoin dominance, and it will show you that we're at 58%. And the reason why we don't want, unless you're a Bitcoin holder, if you're a Bitcoin holder, I mean, you know, your goals and your hopes can be a lot different than mine. I understand that. I am prepping for altcoin season and trying to get all of you ready for altcoin season. So what we want to see is Bitcoin hold its ground and fluctuate in small amounts. Because if it goes way up, you're going to see this Bitcoin dominance go up. And that means the money is flowing out of altcoins and into Bitcoin. In order for the Bitcoin dominance to fall, it doesn't mean that the Bitcoin price will necessarily fall, at least not the same amount. So when people get in profits, they have Bitcoin, they sell it, they take some of that profit and they throw it into altcoins. And that's how you get that Bitcoin dominance to fall. And that's how we're going to get alt season, is all these people that are holding Bitcoin, they're going to pull some of that money out, or just new money entering the market and going straight into altcoins is going to drop the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance needs to fall below 55% in order for us to get a real alt season, which is just around the corner. Ethereum on the hourly chart looking very good. Very good. And going over to my favorite cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, we're sitting at 0.326, also looking very good. The whole market is just looking beautiful this morning. Shiba Inu, very strong. Momentum is swinging up. XRP, very strong. All of these charts are very similar. And things won't remain kind of like in sync forever. Things will start to deviate once these altcoins go in their own direction. And how they behave will be very different. When their cycle top can be 6 months difference from another altcoin. But generally speaking, right now, it's all moving very closely together. So you can see how tight this range of consolidation has been here. And when you're seeing consolidation, which means trading within a tight zone, I would say is the easiest way to define consolidation. Not breaking too far down, not shooting too far up. It's just this tight range right here. When you see that for a period of time, it will usually almost always end in a breakout. We broke down yesterday and actually just barely fell out of our uptrend here. It almost matched where our other low was. We bounced very hard off of the bottom there, and I would say the bottom is in. For all of your indicators, they will change with your time frame. It will all change with your time frame. So you have to read each time frame differently, and that's why I scroll through all of the time frames to get a very big picture of what's going on. You can see on the 4-hour time frame, we have only just broken out. Looks like right around 3 a.m. this morning, we just made a bullish cross on the MACD, and the momentum has started swinging up. But it's only just the beginning on the MACD. The price moved quite a bit. The MACD is still below that zero line and hasn't moved that much. That's a good sign. That means there's plenty of room left to go, plenty of steam left in the engine. Dogecoin getting ready to take off. Now, we've had these false breakouts quite a bit recently, and could this be another false breakout? Sure, it could be, and you have to be ready and prepared for all scenarios. So I'm very hopeful, and I have a good feeling that we will break out and it's getting ready to take off. On the other hand, could it be a false breakout just like this one, where we went up to here and went down? It's possible. It is possible. So just be ready. Now, looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels, the next level to break above and hold as support is the 0.5 retracement level at 35 cents. It's only less than 3 cents away, and that, I think, will be the next test. If we can break through that, hold it as support, we will shoot straight up to the 618 and test resistance at 43 cents. Now, we will eventually run out of time to enter the market, and when we have been within this range for as long as we've been, 2 weeks, it'll seem like we're going to stay there forever, and sitting on your hands and trying to decide how to allocate your funds can backfire. If you take too long, it can backfire. I have a feeling that we won't be down here much longer. We will shoot way up above where we've been recently, and you'll miss out on a whole lot of profits. So right now is a great time to enter the market on lots of these coins, especially Shiba Inu. Look at the difference in that chart from Shiba Inu to Dogecoin. And I also think that Dogecoin is a very good coin to be buying right now, but Shiba Inu is at an even better entry level as far as price and potential for profits. And I think there's tons of money to be made in Dogecoin, but I think there may be even more money to be made in Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu has not gone as high as it did in March of 2024. Dogecoin has exceeded how far it went in March 2024. That was sort of a fake rally and still far away from all-time highs for both coins. But I think that due to that reason, Shiba Inu is a better coin to be buying right now. Now, I hear a lot of people talking about XRP. Oh, XRP, XRP, XRP. Yeah, it's a very popular coin right now. It's very popular, and it's a good coin. I'm not hating on XRP. All I'm saying is I think there are better coins to be buying right now. And when I hear that something is getting very, very, very popular and it's moved way up, that is a top signal. When everybody's talking about it, when your grandmother asks you if you own any XRP, that is a top signal. So you just got to be cautious when you get to that point. Can you still make money if you buy right now? Sure. Yeah, I think that it'll go up. It's going to go up. My point is, it is closer to its cycle top and its new all-time high than a lot of other altcoins. So what I like to do is I like to find the weaker or less popular altcoins, and I like to get into those. That way you have more potential for earnings. I think XRP is a very strong coin as far as use case and utility, and I think long term it will be a very good investment. I think it'll be up there closer to Bitcoin. It might overtake Ethereum in market cap. It's only a matter of time before Ethereum gets overtaken as far as being the second biggest cryptocurrency. When it comes to Ethereum, the transaction fees are high and it is not as fast as a lot of other altcoins. So if you're looking at things like that, and everybody's goal, everybody's situation is different. So just take all this information and make your own decision, just trying to make you see all sides of it. Dogecoin, Dogecoin, Dogecoin to the moon. All right, you can't sleep on Dogecoin. This thing is a very powerful movement, and we've come a long way, but we also have a long way to go. I was reading articles last night that was written by the article wasn't written, but these projections and analysis was done by a very prominent crypto analyst, Ali Martinez. He basically said that a $20 Dogecoin, yeah, $20 Dogecoin is 100% possible and pretty likely. I mean, somewhere within that, I would say anywhere between $5 and $15 is likely. And maybe I'm just a moon boy who's totally lost his mind, but I'm just going off what I'm seeing the professionals say and the research that they have done. And historically speaking, that's all we have to go off of in cryptocurrency is speculation. There are no earnings, there are no quarterly, it's not the stock market, it's speculation 150%. So what I would speculate is historically the moves that Dogecoin has made in the past in its cycles. If you put all that together and if it does that same move from bottom to top, we're going to be up somewhere above $5. So that's all I'm saying. I just wanted to throw my Moon Boy 2 cents out there for anyone who is on the same page as I am. And if you're not, well, hop aboard the rocket ship and let's go to the moon with Dogecoin. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Have an excellent new year. I wish all the best to you, your friends and family, and I hope everyone's well out there. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. You have to do what's best for you. This is just my opinion.